Shouldn't watch movies when I'm tired.
Hey, what's up, people?
Hi.
I get criticized a lot for talking over Kay's
Oh, no,
picks.
you don't.
So, Kay, you can talk about this movie.
Okay, it stars Christopher Reeves and Jane Seymour. And,
Christopher Plummer. Oops, I'm sorry. That'll be the last thing I say for a while.
okay, are you sure about that?
Well, I could, but I mean, I talked over you in the Con Air review.
Okay, so he is, I think, a playwright right out of college, and he did a small theater. And he said that there was a special guest that said that this play may be able to make it on Broadway. He was going to get back to him on that. And so he's celebrating with all the other people, that the actors, actresses, and behind the scenes people. They're kind of having like a after show gathering. And this lady comes up to him, and in the audience she wore a black veil. And then when she came up, she had the veil over, and she gave him a gold watch and said, "Come back to me." And so we pull ahead 7, 8 years, and he's still writing plays and everything, and he's got to write one more that's due. Everybody is waiting for it. And then what happens is he's going to do a road trip. He broke up with his girlfriend, and he doesn't know where he's going, and he ends up at the Grand Hotel Mackinac Island. Did you tell him what the name of the movie was?
Uh,
Somewhere in Time.
yeah.
So he starts learning everything he can about her.
The movie was so generic. Or the movie, I hate to interrupt because I know you loved this movie,
It's
but
okay.
literally within the first 10 minutes of watching this movie, I forgot what it was called. I was like, what is this movie called again? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
very
Ah,
romantic.
whatever.
So then he starts learning all about her. He goes to
This is as romantic as Winter's Tale.
the lady that helped take care of her in her later years. He just tried to find out all he could, researching the library, everything about her, until he finally found a picture of her
Can I say one quick
in
joke?
a play magazine.
Can I say a quick joke?
Sure.
He had to ask the librarian. The librarian would have gotten the magazines faster, but that librarian was too busy because that kid was asking, um, "Don't think it, don't say it."
No,
The Bye Bye Man.
no, that didn't happen.
I'm kind of
She was
torn which
close
movie I
to
like
closing
better.
time. She looked at her clock, her watch.
I'm kind of torn which one I'd rather
Oh,
watch again.
okay.
I hope I never have to make that claim.
So then
I'll leave you alone. I'll be right back.
he's researched and researched, and then he goes to the house, and the lady had said that um, she was gathering things together from her days in the theater to donate. And then he's like, he wanted to write a play about her, and then she's like, no, no, I'm not going to tell you about her. And he's like, I have to find out about her. And she shows her the watch that she gave him. And she was um, okay, come in. So he's learning and learning a little bit about her, and that. This was all, I think, up in Mackinac Island or something. And he meets with the professor that taught one of his classes in college, and he asked him because he saw a book in her home about time travel. So he had asked, how can I do this? Does this really happen? And he told him about a time that he thought for a split
That guy was
second.
Christopher Plummer, right?
No, Christopher Plummer was her manager.
Oh,
This was the professor that wore the pants up higher than his waist.
Clint Eastwood.
No. No. So then he's talking to him and he's like, you've got to remove everything that is present in the room that could give your mind, your conscience, any resemblance of current time. And so what he did is he removed everything. He even took out coins. He got a suit that he learned was like 10 to 20 years older than where he was in, what was it, 1912? 19, no, the 26th of 1912, was it?
This is like if Mumblecore made a no, yeah, it's like if Mumblecore made Alice in Wonderland realistic involving time travel.
Okay. I don't think so, but okay, that's what you want to go with.
Should I just get into all of the things that I didn't like about the movie?
Well, can I?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So he finally meets her, and Christopher Plummer, the manager, keeps trying to turn him away. And she finally said to her manager, I love him. I want to be with him. He is not going to ruin me, whatever. So they do. They meet and everything, and they have a night that they stayed up all night, just talking and everything else. And then he received a note at the end of the play and said, meet me in the gazebo or something out back or whatever. So he goes to the gazebo and it's her manager. And he's like, you can't take her away from theater now. I've groomed her. She is going to be great. All of
You
this.
probably shouldn't say the word grooming nowadays, but
Okay.
okay.
I've worked with her to do her best work right now. And all of a sudden he's like, I love her. I'm not going to ruin her. And as soon as he turns around and steps out of the gazebo, he's getting punched and he's taken away. And Jane is like very upset that Christopher Plummer got rid of him, and he wakes up in the barn with a horse above him eating, and he's hogtied. And then he gets untied and he runs back. She's not in her room. He's not. He's in his room, and then he's outside. He's upset, crying, and she sees him and she's yelling to him, Richard, Richard, and then they're together, and she says, I want to buy you a new suit. And he's like, why? This one fits perfectly across the shoulders. And we've got all these pockets. I've even got a separate pocket for coins. He pulls out a copper penny from like 1970 something. And then all of a sudden, his time travel ended. And he goes in the Grand Hotel, had a museum that had her picture there. And he spends time with her picture.
And
And
roughly a week later,
yeah, roughly a week later, he's like dying from sadness and he can't
dying,
be with
he's
her.
pretty much dead.
Well, he's dying. He's not dead yet. And then he met the guy, Alfred, or what was his name? I want to say Alfred because that's who most of the waiters are. But he met him as a young boy that used to play with the red ball in
When
the
he's not
lobby.
when he's not Batman's butler, he's this guy's butler.
Yeah. Anyway, so then they open the door, they find him, they call an ambulance. By the time the ambulance gets there, you see her, Jane Seymour's character, in heaven. And this was the way that he could reunite with her, is, I guess, just dying. That's how much he enjoyed and loved her, and he learned about her. And it's just very sad, but they were together in the end again. So Go ahead with all your puns and whatever, but
The
it was,
movie
if you ever can take the ferry across,
melodramas.
if you can ever take the ferry across from Manitowoc, I think, in Wisconsin, that goes over to Ludington, and then drive up to Travis, well, north of Travis City, Mackinac Island. Um, I was there as a little girl with my family, but I have not been there for many, many years. Many years. But anyway, you wanted to say your.
Jokes and references.
Yep. Do you want to say first?
God, this was a melodrama. It's one of those movies where, look, I know I've posted reviews that were almost as long as this movie,
Go ahead.
but even within the first 10 minutes, this movie is like an hour and 40 minutes with credits, but it feels like it's like 2.5 hours because there's so many moments of just like staring, looking at books, standing, walking around, not saying anything, not 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 really looking at anything, walking around. There's so many fade outs. It's like a TV show where Atlas Shrugged 3. Will you at least give me that? There were a
Yeah.
lot of fade
Yeah.
outs. This had more fade outs probably than a Terrence Malick movie.
Oh wow. Wow. That's whoa. Okay.
Okay, so this movie, similar to America 3000, how it reminded Kay of a lot of things. This movie reminded me of a lot of things. It reminded me of Premonition. It reminded me of many stories from Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction, from the bus stop to
That was a song by the Mama and Papas, wasn't it?
there was one about a hotel. This movie reminded me of 1408, where it was a guy going crazy in a hotel. I don't know if you'd like it. It's based on a Stephen King book, but it's PG-13 and it's more action than horror.
Yeah, that's okay.
Hey, you were okay with The Running Man.
Okay.
Um, let's see what else. I'm trying to think what else this movie reminded me of.
Well, you said quite a few things during the movie.
Yeah, it reminded me of the Bye Bye Man. It reminded me of what's that movie with time? Oh God, I can't. I wish I could remember the time travel movie. Um,
And I said, at least you didn't say hot tubbed. Oh, remember we brought up the Michael J. Fox?
you did,
Yeah, I brought it up.
but yeah, I'm trying to remember what time is time. Oh, Winter's Tale.
Ah,
It's about as much dialogue as in Winter's Tale.
mm, okay.
Um,
It was just romantic. Two people meant to be together,
I'm
and
not against romance.
I
I'm against not talking.
I know, but remember how they say that sometimes you have somebody from past life or whatever, and
Reincarnation.
yeah, she knew him by name. She had to see his play.
If I want to watch something like this, I'll watch the Phil Hartman, Jan Hooks SNL sketch "Love Is a Dream," which is this done in like 5 or 6 minutes, and it's
Mm.
like really good. I'm gonna show you that afterwards.
Okay, after we eat dinner and everything else. So, okay,
Well, would you recommend? Do you want the Blu-ray or 4K?
no, but I'm glad that I finally did get to see it because it was
If
a very um, well played movie.
oh,
I think it covered really time.
it also kind of reminded me of Much Ado About Nothing.
Mm,
That Keanu Reeves, Denzel Washington, Kate Beckinsale Shakespeare drama.
okay.
If I want to watch a Christopher Reeve movie, I will stick with Christopher Reeve movies. Movies like Superman 3, thank you very much.
Mm, okay.
What are you going And throughout the movie, I kept thinking like, wow, he looks like James Marsden, and he also looks like Tom Cruise.
That was from the side that you said Tom Cruise. So
Didn't he?
I think he's almost better looking than Tom Cruise. But anyway, that's just me.
Hey, just because he made Cocktail does not mean he's a bad actor.
No, Justin. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up. We're not gonna get it
And
on
just he
Blu-ray
and
or
just
4K.
because he played the Last
Stop.
Samurai,
Stop.
you're upset because he played the Last Samurai, aren't you?
I saw that movie too. Stop. So what is next movie? What's next?
Join us next time when we've reviewed two movies in the series, so we're gonna review the third movie in the series. Bye!
Boy. We have to go